Hey there, how's it going everyone? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Bill Graham. Hey Robert, how's it going? Today we're going to be talking some about guide tone lines for minor 2-5-1s. If you watched my last video, we talked about the guide tone lines for major 2-5-1s. And so on minor 2-5-1s, there are just a couple of different options that we have depending on the context. I've put a link to a PDF in the description of this video, so feel free to go over to that and follow along. I'm not looking at that PDF right now, so I'm going to do my best to go in the same order. But let's go on ahead and get started. So remember, when I say guide tone lines, I'm talking about we're playing the root and then the third and the seventh, or the third and the sixth if it's a sixth chord. So since we're only dealing with the third and the seventh, or the third and the sixth, the 2 chord and the 5 chord are the same as they were in major keys. So remember, if you're on the third of the 2 chord, it's going to stay put and become the 7th of the 5 chord. But now, since we're going to a minor tonic, it's going to, instead of falling a half step to the third of the 1 chord, it's going to fall a whole step to the third of the 1 chord. So, okay? And then our other voice is where we've got some different options. So we start on the 7th of the 2 chord, and we fall a half step to the third of the 5 chord. That's the same, of course. But here's where we've got 4 different things that we need to practice. So the first one that we need to practice is resolving to a minor 6th chord on the 1 chord. Now this is a real tonic minor chord, like you hear in the 30s, 40s, 50s. In the 60s, you'll hear a minor 7th used more as a tonic minor chord. And there's also a minor major 7th that we could use as a tonic minor chord. This sounds, so much like a spy movie. It's a little bit hard to use all the time, but very often you're going to play it and then resolve it down to a 6th. Alright, so let's look at each of those options in turn. So remember, we had come down to the third of the 5 chord. So if we're going to a minor 6th chord, it's going to fall another whole step to the 6th of the 1 chord. Alright, let's practice that in the other inversion. So instead of putting the third in the middle voice, we're going to put it on the top voice. So now we're going to have... Okay, now we're going to do the same thing, going to a minor 7th on the 1 chord. So when you get to the third of the 5 chord, now it's going to fall a half step to the 7th of the 1 chord. And so like I was saying, we use this in a more modern kind of context, and also if you've got a 2-5 into maybe the 3 chord of a key, or a 2-5 into the 2. So like, let's say you've got those E minor 7 to A7 to D minor 7. Now we're on the 2 chord, and that'll continue on 2-5-1. That's a very common sound. Okay, let's practice that in the other inversion, so putting the third on top. Alright, and then we've also got to practice going to a minor major 7. Here it's going to stay put, like we did in a major key. Remember, in a major 2-5-1, if we're starting on the 7th of the 2 chord, it falls a half step to the third of the 5, and then stays put, and is the major 7th of the 1 chord. Okay, we're going to do the exact same thing here, except we've got a minor third on the 1 chord. And with the other inversion... Oh, excuse me. Cool. And then we also have to resolve that major 7th down to the 6th. So here the voice leading is again in this voice going to be just like in a major key when we said resolving the major 7th down to the 6th. Hey Jeff, how's it going? Good to see you too. So then we're going to do the other setup, right? Or we got to do it with minor first. And then the inversion. Alright, cool. So there's our basic voice leading for our minor 2-5-1s. So let's take them through all of the keys, just like we did with the major chords. Starting by taking them down in half steps. And the voice leading is going to be a tiny little bit different, just because we have to deal with each of those options, right? So we got to do all 4 of those options. Let's start by resolving to minor 6th chords. Okay, and then next we're going to have a 2-5-1 in B minor. So what's going to happen here is the 3rd of that 1 chord is going to come up a half step, and the 6th is going to go up a whole step. So now we're on the 2 chord in B minor. Okay, now same thing. The 3rd goes up a half step, and the 6th goes up a whole step, and we go to our 2 chord in B flat minor. Okay, then in A minor, this is B minor 7 flat 5, although we don't care about the flat 5 right now, because we're not putting 5ths in the chords. Next time we'll have to care about that, but for now, we don't. Okay, that was A minor. Now we got to go to A flat minor, G minor, F sharp minor, F minor, E minor, E flat minor, D minor, C sharp minor, and then we're back to C minor. Alright, cool. So now let's play all of that again, but resolving to minor 7th chords on the 1. So what's going to happen now is all 3 voices are going to come up a half step to the 2 chord in the next key. Back to C minor. And of course, we've got to do the other inversion of that. You know, I think I forgot to do the other inversion of the minor 6th chords. Let's go and do those, and then the other inversion of the minor 7ths. Okay, so starting with our minor 6ths, instead of having the 3rd in the middle voice, we're going to have the 3rd in the top voice. Alright, let's go. We'll jump up an octave when it gets too low. How about? Because it's going to sound too thin if we start up here. So D minor 7 to G7 to C minor 6. Now C sharp minor 7 to F sharp 7 to B minor 6. C minor 7 to F7 to B flat minor 6. Thank you so much, Jeff. That was B flat minor 6. Alright, next we're going to B minor 7, E7, A minor 6, B flat minor 7, E flat 7, A flat minor 6, A minor 7, or A minor 7 flat 5, but again we don't care about that, D7, G minor 6, G sharp minor 7, C sharp 7, F sharp minor 6, G minor 7, let's hop up an octave, how about? G minor 7, C7, F minor 6, F sharp minor 7, B7, E minor 6, F minor 7, B flat 7, E flat minor 6, E minor 7, A7, D minor 6, and lastly, D sharp minor 7, G sharp 7, C sharp minor 6. Alright, great. And then now with the minor sevenths. Start here, how about? And then remember, all three voices come up. C sharp minor 7, F sharp 7, B minor 7. All three voices up a half step. C minor 7, F7, B flat minor 7, B minor 7, A minor 7, B flat minor 7, E flat 7, A flat minor 7. Now we're going to G minor, A minor 7, D7, G minor 7, G sharp minor 7, C sharp 7, F sharp minor 7. Let's hop up an octave again. G minor 7, C7, F minor 7, F sharp minor 7, B7, E minor 7, F minor 7, B flat 7, E flat minor 7, E minor 7, A7, D minor 7, D sharp minor 7, G sharp 7, C sharp minor 7. Okay, and then we're back to C. Next up, we've got to do those resolving to the minor major sevenths. Okay, and this time, let's take a look at the voice leading again. So, the top voice is going to stay the same, and now these bottom two voices are going to move up a half step. Going to B minor major 7, C minor 7, F7, B flat minor major 7, B minor 7 to E7, A minor major, B flat minor 7, E flat 7, A flat minor major, A minor 7, D7, G minor major, G sharp minor 7, C sharp 7, F sharp minor major. I played the major third there accidentally for a second, and then corrected myself. Let me play that one more time. Okay, then we go G minor 7 to C7, F minor major, F sharp minor 7, B7, E minor major, F minor 7, B flat 7, E flat minor major, E minor 7, A7, D minor major, D sharp minor 7, G sharp 7, C sharp minor major. Okay, and then the other setup of those. So we have to play those minor majors if it's built into the tune, like if, let's say we're playing Invitation or something, the song ends on that minor major chord before there's a 2-5 back into C minor. So let's practice that last move that we have to play, which is going from the minor major down to the minor sixth. So now these bottom two voices move up a half step, but the top voice moves up a whole step. And that's just like when we're playing the major key 2-5-1s. Where we're playing the major sevens resolving to the sixths. Now we just have a minor third in the chord. Okay. C sharp minor 7, F sharp 7, B minor major to minor 6, C minor 7 to F7 to B flat minor major to B flat minor 6. Alright, let's hop up an octave because it's already getting a little bit low. B minor 7, E7, A minor major to A minor 6. Alright, going to A flat minor. Going to G minor. Going to F sharp minor. Going to F minor. Going to E minor. Going to E flat minor. To D minor. And finally to C sharp minor. And the other inversion of all of those, starting going to C minor, to B minor, to B flat minor, to A minor, to A flat minor, and again we're already getting a little bit low, so let's hop up. G minor, F sharp minor, F minor, to E minor, to E flat minor, right, to D minor, C sharp minor, and then finally back to C minor. Okay, cool. So that's stage one. Now we've covered all 4 options that we've got to practice on these tonic minor chords, and we've done them in every key and in both inversion sets. All right. So now let's take them another way. Let's take them around the circle. So if we start with our 2-5 in C minor, let's start with minor 6th chords. We're always going to start with minor 6ths, then go to minor 7ths, then go to minor major 7s, then go to minor majors, resolving to minor 6ths. Thanks, Jana. My sister Jana is in the chat. You should go check out her music, her group Oat Milk. Just put out a record that I played a little bit on and our dad played a little bit on. Really cool stuff. So we were just going to play 2-5s around the circle now. So if we start with our 2-5 into C minor 6, then we've got to go to a 2-5 into F minor now. And let's look at the voice leading we need to do to get there. Okay, so there's our C minor 6. So to get to F minor 6, what's going to happen is that the 3rd of the 1 chord is going to go up a whole step to the 7th of the next 2 chord. And the 6th of the 1 chord is going to go up a half step to the 3rd of the next 2 chord. And just like when we did this in major keys, we're going to be playing the opposite form every other key. So notice the first one starts on the 3rd, and then the next one starts on the 7th. It's already a little bit too low, right? And then again, it's going to go to that next chord, and then we're going to the key of E flat minor, so we need F minor 7. We're on the opposite form. And now we're going to A flat minor, so again, the opposite form. Next to C sharp minor. Okay. Next we're going to F sharp minor. Again, the opposite form. Then to B minor. Or no, to B minor. And then to E minor. And then to A minor. And then to D minor, then to G minor, and then we're back to C minor. Alright, so that all makes pretty good sense, right? Let's do the other inversion set. So now instead of starting down here, we're going to start up here. Okay, 2, 5 into C. Next we're going to F minor. Next to B flat minor. Next to E flat minor. Next to A flat minor. Now to C sharp minor. Then to F sharp minor. Okay, let's take that up an octave. We're into F sharp minor, now we're going into B minor, then into E minor, then into A minor, into D minor, into G minor, and then we're back into C minor. Alright, so next we got to play all of that again with minor 7th chords. So let's start again. So now watch what happens. The third of this chord is still going to move up a whole step to the 7th of the next 2 chord. But now the 7th of this one chord is going to stay put and become the 3rd of the next 2 chord. Alright, cool. So in fact, and then immediately we've got to go to F minor, and then immediately to C minor, or to C minor 7, because we're going to the key of B flat minor. Okay. E flat minor, let's hop up an octave. A flat minor, C sharp minor, F sharp minor, B minor, E minor, A minor, D minor, G minor, and then we're back to C minor. And then the other setup. Starting in the key of C minor, so we're going to start on the 2 chord. Into E flat minor, into A flat minor, into C sharp minor, into F sharp minor, into B minor. Let's hop up an octave. We're getting a little bit too low. Into E minor. Into A minor. Into D minor. Into G minor. And finally back into C minor. Alright, cool. So now we've done minor 6, we've done minor 7s around the circle. Let's go on ahead and do minor major 7s. So here, let's look at the voice leading. So to get to G minor 7 from this C minor major, alright, the 3rd is still going to come up a whole step to the 7th of the G minor. But now that 7th of the C minor major is going to come down a half step to the 3rd of the G minor 7 chord. Okay? So, what do we just play? And then we're going to the G minor 7, to F minor 6. We're already getting a little bit too low. F minor major, excuse me. So now, we've got to get to C minor 7, to get to our B flat minor major. Now we're going to the key of E flat minor, so got to play, okay, to the key of A flat minor, so to C sharp minor, to F sharp minor, to B minor, to E minor, to A minor, to D minor, to G minor, and then you're back to C minor. And of course, we've got to do that with the other setup. Next, let's hop up an octave because we're getting a little bit too low. And then we're back to C minor. Okay, now we got to practice that with the major sevens resolving down to major sixths, or still minor sixth chords. It's the major sixth interval. And now when we go to the next key, okay, the third of the one chord still is going up a whole step, and the sixth of that one chord is going up a half step to the third of the next chord. And remember, this is only when we're playing a minor 2-5-1 and then another minor 2-5-1 a fifth away. So it's not every time you've got a minor 2-5 into any other 2-5, but when you've got this particular context, this is the voice leading for it. And then we're already getting a little too low. Excuse me. Minor. Let's do that again with the other setup. We're getting a little bit too low, let's say. And then we're back where we started. All right, cool. So next up, what we've done now is that's all four forms around or down in half steps, and also all four forms around the circle. So another way that we can practice these is down in whole steps. And remember that when we're playing in whole steps, that makes a whole tone scale. And since a whole tone scale is only 6 notes before it repeats, we've got to do, after we get through those 6 keys, we've got to play it again down a half step to cover the other 6 keys. So if we were, let's start it in minor 6. So what happened there? All right, we played our regular 2-5-1 to a minor 6th, and then the next key that we're going to play is a 2-5-1 in B flat minor. Well, what's the 2 in B flat minor? C minor 7 flat 5. All right, so the bass note is going to stay the same, third's going to stay the same, and then our 6th is going to come up a half step to the 7th of our new 2 chord. We're already getting too low. And then we're back where we started. Okay. So let's do the other setup. No, first we got to do it down a half step. So that's going to be starting in C sharp, or in B minor now, starting on a C sharp minor 7 flat 5. Excuse me. All right, and then let's do both of those in the other setup. No, to minor 6. And then we're back where we started. Let's do that down a half step. And then we're back where we started. Let's do both of those again with a minor 7th chord on the 1. So now we don't have to do anything. This 1 is going to be the same as the next 2. Back where we started. Now we also got to do the other inversion. No, minor. Excuse me. And then up a half step, or down a half step. And then we're back where we started. Okay, minor major 7s. So now the top note, the major 7th, is going to have to move down a half step to the 7th of the next 2. Let's move up an octave. And we're back where we started. Up a half step. Down a half step, I mean. And we're back where we started. Okay, and the other setup of both of those. and up or down a half step from there. Alright, and the other setup of that one. And up down a half step. Alright, now we've got to do that with the major sevens resolving down to sixths. And the other setup. No, first down a half step. And that's where we started. Now we'll do the other setup of both of those. And then we're back where we started, down a half step. Alright, so there we go. So what have we done today? We have played all of our minor 2-5-1s in the shell voicings with the third on the bottom and either the sixth or seventh on the top, and with the sixth or seventh on the bottom and the third on top. We've played them in all 12 keys, coming down chromatically. We've played them in all 12 keys around the circle of fifths, and we've also played them in all 12 keys coming down in whole steps. So I don't have time to do it today because we'd have to go through all of this again, but you should also practice all of that stuff going to the tritone sub on the 5 chord of every chord. So let's say we're on, I'll just do it in one key for each. So if we've got a 2-5-1 into C minor, instead of going to G7, we're going to go to D flat 7. And same thing with the other setup. Alright, and we've got to do that resolving to all of the different chord types. There's minor 7. There's minor major 7. And then minor major resolving to minor 6th. So you're going to do those down in half steps, and around the circle, and down in whole steps, and then starting again down a half step from there to catch the other 6 keys. So next time, what we're going to do is we are going to start adding a third note to these chords, or a fourth note technically, because we've got the root. So far we've been playing the root, the third, and the seventh. So next week we're going to play the root, the third, the seventh, and one color tone, or one tension that we add to it. So until then, everybody stay safe. Hope you're all staying healthy and able to stay in as much as you can. And till then, everybody have a good one. Thank you.